Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm coming to y'all with yet another guitar-related video, and this time we're looking at two very similar, but also very different guitars by Ovation. So over here, in the Sunburst finish, we have an Applause AA14, and over here in this very light blue, we have an Academy KA14. These were both made in the USA, and they were made to be super budget entries into Ovation's guitars. Applause, obviously still around today and still well known, was their entry-level guitar, and Academy was their super entry-level guitar meant for students who couldn't afford to spend very much to buy an instrument, not even enough to buy an Applause. And many people today don't know the Academy name. I'll bring these guitars down and show their headstocks, and I have full reviews on each of these guitars, which you can find the links to in the description down below. But these were really two very interesting guitars because they share a lot in common, and they're also very, very different. They have the same overall design, being that they are deep bowl Ovation style guitars with one-piece aluminum neck and fingerboards. They both have the same body shape. They both have the same raised white binding that goes all the way around the guitar. They have fairly similar but not identical bridge designs. And again, they were both made to be budget guitars by Ovation. But the differences pop up, and there are some very much worth noting. Put the Academy down for just a second. On the Applause, we have a laminate spruce top with our Lyramold back and sides. And it's a 14 fret design, meaning the neck joins the body at the 14th fret. Okay? We also have this finish on the back of the neck to make it look like wood, although it certainly doesn't really feel like wood. I mean, the back of the neck doesn't feel like aluminum either. It feels like something different. You get to the side of the fretboard and the fretboard itself, you'll definitely feel the aluminum. But yeah, so that's a more traditional laminate wood top and then 14 fret design. On the Academy, however, it is a 12 fret design, meaning the body joins the neck at the 12th fret. And this is a plastic top. So the only piece of wood on this whole guitar is that bridge, that walnut bridge. Okay, so very different in that way. Another way in which they're different are the tuning machines. Okay, the Academy has these 3-on-a-plate open gear styles, while the Applause has these individual trapezoidal tuners. And I want to quickly say that the trapezoid tuners on the Academy or on the Applause are far better than any of the trapezoidal tuners I've ever used. Like, this Applause holds tune really well. And honestly, the same for the Academy. These open gear, 3-on-a-plate tuners hold tune quite remarkably. They're very stiff, though, so I should probably oil them. But, yeah. So, very similar and yet very different. Another difference is the nut width. I'll see if you can tell the difference just by looking at it. And yeah, it's pretty obvious just by looking. So we have a typical 1 11/16 here. This is actually somewhere between a 1 3/4 and like a 2-inch nut. It's like a 1 5/8 inch nut, or sorry, it's like a 1 7/8 inch nut, something like that. It's super wide, and you can feel it. I have guitars with a 1 3/4 inch nut, and this Academy feels significantly wider in the hand. It almost feels like you're playing a classical. So I have these both strung with the Dario XS 1152 phosphor bronze coated strings, and I'm going to go ahead and do some sound comparison. I'm going to jump over and put a Shure SM58 in front of these sound holes and run it through my audio interface, and I'm going to let you decide which guitar you think sounds better, if you think one does sound better, if you think they just sound different, if you think they have different roles. Me personally, I think that both guitars have very different applications I would put them into. I would never use either one as my primary guitar for a recording mix, but that's just me for what I do. Perhaps you would. So stick around and you'll see that.
you.